Yes. So day old chicks versus point of lay. So which ones are better than the other? Now, one thing I discovered with YouTube is that people come and they do need the answer immediately, straightforward, and then they go to anything at other things they do want to watch, something else maybe. Now, guys, avoid rushing to the conclusions. Eh? Get to know the process, the basics, the what. Always watch the video from the beginning up to the end. Why am I saying so? Let me give you an example. For instance, you have a maid at home, a maid, a house girl, let me say like that. Now, you happen to find your maid is pregnant. Don't just send the maid away. Why am I saying so? If you happen to have some big boys at home like me, the maid might be carrying your grandchildren. That's if you have some strong boys at home like me, big boys. Huh? Or you might find that the child the maid is carrying is maybe your stepchild. What am I trying to say? If you haven't to find out that your maid is pregnant, call her, talk to her. Who is the owner of the pregnancy? Maybe the boda guy, maybe she can tell you that maybe your son is the owner, or your husband. Huh? So, leaving that example aside, guys, always watch the entire video to get to know what the process, what happened after, what everything. Now, they're all chicks versus point of lay. So, in case you're wondering why I'm dirty, guys, dirty with some water on the overall, yeah, I'm always at the farm most of the time. So, you know me, those who are always here, I spend most of the times at the farm. So, I'm your farm boy. I think from today, I'm Kaso's Robert Bukenya, the farm boy. Now, leaving that aside, guys, let me start with the point of lay. We're talking about the commercial layers. Layers is Amaji, is Amaji. Now, if you do get the chicken at the point of laying, maybe at the let me say 18 weeks, 18, 19, 20, 21, it's it has its advantages and the disadvantages. Now, one of the advantages is you avoid brooding. You avoid the brooder. I hate that brooder because it stresses. Most of the chicks do die during the brooding stage. Yeah, do die during the brooding stage. Due to various problems. I already uploaded a video about brooding, and maybe the day after tomorrow I might also upload another video about brooding. So, leaving that aside, another advantage is that you immediately begin getting the cash. You immediately begin enjoying the cash flow because you get them on the laying, or they have just begun laying, maybe just adding a little. Because however much you bring them at the point of lay, at least first you have to put some things like the biosecurity. You have to put maybe buy some vitamins because transporting them from where you got them, you'll be having the transportation, whatever stress. Yeah, they do always have that thing. When transport them from one place to another, they'll be stressed. So you need that in some vitamin. You need to load them with vitamins. Maybe equipment, feeders, drinkers, what. I leave that aside. Now, another third advantage is of getting them at a point of lay is that you do avoid this vaccination, whatever, the multiple, the different, various vaccination, whatever's. For instance, Newcastle, like 2 times you have to vaccinate Gombolo 1, Gombolo 2, there is the flowpox, there is flow typhoid, there is coryza, there is what? There are other different types of whatever vaccinations you have to do during that stage, from 0 day or from day 1 up to the point of laying. There are very many vaccinations you have to do with the commercial layers. Unlike the broilers where you just vaccinate them only Newcastle and Gombolo, because I think the first week is like Newcastle, the second one and the third is Gombolo, then the fourth maybe Newcastle, depending on the company where you bought your chicks from. They do give you the vaccination chart which you have to follow. But with the layers, you vaccinate more than the broilers, more than the dual purpose. Now, the disadvantage of getting chicken at their point of lay. Now, you're not sure that the previous owner did vaccinate them. That's one. Because if they didn't vaccinate them, for instance, against foulpox or coryza or even Marix, but in most cases, Marix is always vaccinated at the hatcheries because it's kind of expensive. Yeah. So if they didn't maybe have vaccinated them against the typhoid or foulpox, and in the future, foulpox happens at the farm or typhoid, man, you will cast the day joint poultry. Yeah. So you're not sure that where you go to those chicken were vaccinated against those whatevers. But if you're sure that they did so, then well and good. You're good to go. Another disadvantage is that whenever you change these layers from the point where you brooded them to another place. Now, for instance, at this stage around the third month, at week what? Week 20 something, week 20, 17, 16 something, at week 15 around there, but let me use months. However, in layers, we do use weeks, not months. We do count weeks, 4, 5, 10, 15, 16. We don't normally use months. Why? This month has 30 days, this one 31, this one 28, like that. So, but for weeks, the week has 7 days, period. There is nothing like 80 days or 6. Each 7 days make a week. But for the month has some months do have 30, 31, then February at times is 28, another year is 29. So in layers, we do use weeks. So back to the point now. Now, at that stage, that is the third month. I'm not so sure of the weeks, but that is if this 4, 8, that is like between week 12 and maybe 15. That's when we do switch off the lights at night, and we leave them to get used to the darkness. But if you do not do it properly, guys, that's also a full topic. If you do not do it properly, guys, they will have to die. They will die. How? They will go and pack themselves in the corner. Others come and sleep on top of others. So that's a full topic. Back to the point now. If you do transport them from the place where you brooded them from the previous owner, then you bring them at your farm, you're likely to have some deaths if you do not take strict measures. Now, this is it if you bring them. Now it's evening hours here in Uganda, it is around 6 something, 6:30 something p.m. Now, as soon as it turns dark, you have to get either you or you get your worker, he or she goes inside, then they help them in sleeping. In my local language, we call them okuziyambako okwebaka. Like you separate them slowly, those who on top of the others, then you push them away like that. That's a full topic. So now if you change them from their place, you're likely to lose some due to that. But if you take the measures, maybe you're aware of it, you know how to do it, you will win. You're good to go. Now, they're all the chicks. I personally prefer all the chicks. Why? I'll have to vaccinate. I know that I vaccinated them. If I didn't vaccinate something, I'll know that maybe I'll have to do it. So I prefer all the chicks, guys. I prefer all the chicks. You get to know everything. And now, you're a newbie, a person who are a poultry beginner. You want to gain experience. Now, why do you want to start halfway? You need to know the entire process. You need to know how they vaccinate. You need to enjoy that process from day 1 up to the week 18, 17, or 16, or 20, or 21. You need to enjoy that process. As they grow, you learn this, their habits, the stage of debaking. Meanwhile, for me, the company where I get my chicks, they come when they have already vaccinated. The debaking process is already done, halfway done. in that by the time they reach here, then this beak, it just break by itself at around the second week. Between the second and the fourth week, around there. So me, I don't do that thing of debaking with the knife or with the machine. What I hate debaking, because at times when debaking, you do cut the tongue of the chicken, then you're stressing it, hurting it, what like that. So guys, I do prefer the old chicks. However much they do disturb a lot. Like in a brooder, now for me who use the pot, they do jump and fall inside the pot. I have to always keep the brooder warm. You wake up at night adding some charcoal. So the brooder is kind of stressing, but guys, it's far better. I swear that getting the old chicks is far better. You gain experience, you learn everything. Now, what will you teach others if you don't pass through that stage? What will you teach others if you want to avoid the brooder stage, that stage, however stressful it is, that they do it, you're not getting anything? You know, the most or the biggest problem with our generation is that we always want to get money immediately. Like you get the chicken within 2 weeks, 1 week, or 1 month, you get the money back, which is 100% impossible. Pass through the process. Day 1, first month, second, third, fourth. You will reach the promised land, the laying period. You will reach it. Even if it takes longer, it goes up to 6 months. Guys, till they will lay. You just have to keep the patience with you. So, guys, I have to go and meet the egg buyer. He has come to pick the eggs. So guys, thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe, comment, share the video. So I have to sign out, guys. I have to go and meet the egg buyer. Hi, Sebo. Yo, go Sebo. Tebali woman. Amata. Simanyi ddala mbaye nange nakajja. Kale Sebo. Babuuzeeko ne leero.
Baani abo kulimbuta.
Ngenda bakola ku ssimu yo. Bagenda bakola ku ssimu yo.
Ate olina okumuza abantu ng'omanyi.
Gwe bagabalamuseko bulamusa.
Kale abe mbalamusizzaako. Besima ku maali.
Besima ku maali.